listening to the Woken Up Woken Podcast. Woke up.
Alrighty.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Shit Show. Woken Up Woke.
Woken up woke.
This is episode 4.
Wokem.
Listen, I rehearsed for this episode.
You rehearsed. Yeah, you look
I will
great.
never,
Rehearsed.
ever.
And that's Roger Carter, everyone.
Hi, how are you? Sorry.
He's boot in a boot.
He's out in the boot. He's on
He's in the
location
boot.
at an undisclosed location. Filming
Okay.
Blair Witch Part 3.
Yes.
Think we
Hi,
get kicked
I know black people. This is better for everybody.
out outside. It looks like one of those videos where they want to be anonymous and
Yeah.
talk like this.
Yes.
You're going to tell us how you used to sell cocaine with the cartel
Sell cocaine for the cartels.
in Brooklyn. Start in New Orleans.
Although the girl tomorrow, she was a drug dealer on my show, and she was anyway. How are you
Shameless
guys
plug. There you go. There you go.
Oh, what show is that exactly, Roger?
doing?
Yeah, what show is that?
What's the name of it?
Hours with Ro, and
When does that come on? Is that Mondays?
Mondays?
Monday 8:30 p.m. ET and 5:30 PT.
That's on Instagram Live. Follow at After Hours with Ro. Instagram.
Thank you.
Why do I sound like Martha
Sucking
Stewart?
nothing. Again, I'm afraid right now. So again, what do? Do I go back into the house or do I
What?
stay here?
You can do a little of both. I like right there now. We can't see you, but you got a cool background. We can hear you fine.
But
so.
there's some. All right.
Yeah.
All right,
But
okay.
we do want to see inside in a little bit. Yeah. So,
You tell me when to go inside. You tell me when to go.
I'm sure you'll just go when you feel the urge to go.
Well, I think when I'm ready to have a beer. Yes, sir. JETS, suck.
So,
So I got a question because earlier Ro texted us and was like, I don't know. I'm gonna read the text like with emotion, but I got are we going on? Are we going on? Because if not, I'm going live, and I took it.
3, 2, 1. Let's go live.
He
Alcohol in your
said-
face. Anybody need to use the bathroom for the next 30 minutes? No, you good? Okay.
Ro text.
I'm
He
gonna use
says,
the bedroom.
Trying to read.
Okay.
What
Okay.
time? 9 p.m. Too late for you guys. That's Joe putting that. And
I
thought
have
I'm
a show.
good. Yeah, it's Sunday. You have a show you do on Mondays. So that's why I'm like, so then Joe puts, I'm good. He finished his other one. Then Ro texts, I may be live. What is happening? And I put, Joe's doing his other podcast. Then the next text was, okay, I'm out and we'll go live.
I have
So,
a theory. I think he
my
was doing
theory-
voice text and didn't know and was actually having
yeah,
a
we're gonna
conversation
spit
with
this
someone
bitch
else.
Yeah.
My theory is Ro thought today was Monday and he thought his After Hours with Ro show was going live tonight, being that it's Monday, but when in actuality, it is Sunday.
Yeah.
I don't think
What?
we'll ever get an answer.
But I'm more interested in what he's doing right now.
I'm like,
He's doing
turn up,
Pilates.
brother. Turn up, brother.
Hey,
Turn
this
up
is
for the show.
this is going on YouTube, so it's gotta be rated PG-13 at least.
He's doing
Okay, we're good.
Pilates.
We're good. Joe, what are you
who's
doing on my
Pilates?
hand, Joe?
All right, so we ended off the last episode talking about Weekend at Bernie's and Land of the Lost. Correct? Was that?
That's correct. And we did a Instagram poll. Rose started one. He did a poll, and then I did a survey as well. What do you think is the better show?
You
And
guys freaking, how many freaking accounts did you make? The BS.
I didn't make any extra accounts to do. I didn't
any extra accounts.
there was no voter fraud going on. All right.
Oh my God!
Clear.
That,
Absolutely no voter
kidding me?
fraud.
Well, let's be clear. What is the question? Which is the funnier movie?
Which is the better movie?
Which is the better
didn't
movie?
say funny. It just said
Okay.
which is the
Which
better
is the
movie?
better movie?
Land of the Lost or Weekend at Bernie's?
Okay.
And 80% on both different surveys, both came back Land of the Lost.
Right.
So
I'm gonna go first.
Here's something funny. Here's something funny. It's funny that you say that because I get to see, at least on my end, who voted for what, and the votes for Weekend at Bernie's were by race, separated by race. So
Interesting.
my black friends chose Weekend at Bernie's overwhelmingly.
Interesting.
Two people. I have two friends.
So Roger and who else?
Andre, I'm putting it out there. Andre, you voted for a Weekend at Bernie's. You can't hide that, Dre. I hope you hear this. Why you would pick that? I hope you were drunk too.
Originally,
shout out to Dre.
Shout out. What up, Dre? Dre's gonna be he's gonna be a guest pretty soon on here on the Woken.
Yeah, I thought about asking him to come on the show to explain his pick, but we'll just grill him. But yeah, so Joe, what were you gonna say about it?
So when we first brought it up, right off the bat, I said Land of the Lost, better movie.
Wait, real quick. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry to cut you off because this is funny, and I forgot about this. But so my wife had listened and watched the last podcast, and she said there was something with the universe because like right after watching the podcast, she turns on the TV, and what's on the TV? Land of the Lost.
That's hilarious.
And the couple scenes she's cracking up, but she didn't watch the whole thing. She just thought it was funny. Oh, it's funny. They're talking about this movie, and then it's on.
Yeah, like coincidence.
So she's thinking like how the Google and Facebook spy on you and that. And she's like, that's crazy. Switches to a couple of channels. The Expendables is on, and it's the scene at the end, like the movie's almost over, and Mickey Rourke's wearing a leather vest with no shirt under it.
That's hilarious.
And she's like, wow. And that's something we talked about in the last episode.
Yeah.
And then the third thing was she had switched over and she saw Dawn of the Dead. And it was at the exact part where they're calling out the remake of Dawn of the Dead. And they were calling somebody a celebrity.
Yeah. The game that we play. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Which
crazy.
All
that
three
all
things
three
we
of those,
mentioned. Yeah.
Nuts.
So I just thought that was cool. It's either crazy coincidence.
Once again, Black lives are dying in the streets. That's awesome. Thanks.
That just shows that the universe is listening to Woken Up Woke podcast on Spotify, Apple,
and not
Google,
about the Black lives
Anchor.
dying in the streets yet again. And yeah, it's fun.
Tell us
You
how
on
you
a
really
bike?
feel, bro.
You look like you're on a bike. You're on an imaginary bike.
I'm on a bike. I'm not literally on a bike.
Anyway, so when we first spoke about this, I was
My balls are literally on fire.
I was confused with the question. I thought the question was which is the funnier movie, right? And I originally I said Land of the Lost, but then I was like, you know what? Let me go back. Let me see if I can watch them if they're on. And sure enough, Land of the Lost and Weekend at Bernie's were both on Amazon Prime. I'm like, score. So I watched them back to back, like one right after the other. And I was surprised because I'm gonna say it's gonna be a real political answer, but I thought Land of the Lost was funnier. I got more laughs out of it, but I thought Weekend at Bernie's was actually a better movie overall. Like watching Weekend at Bernie's, I followed the story better. entertained. There was parts in Land of the Lost where I was just like a little bored, and I felt like they were trying to make me laugh, which I get annoyed with. And so, but the
So
laughs
are you
at
switching
Land of,
sides?
huh?
Are you switching
So
sides?
I'm saying Weekend at Bernie's
He's
is an
flip flopping.
I'm flip flopping. Yeah, Weekend at Bernie's is a better movie, but I think Land of the Lost is a funnier movie.
Hold
if
on,
that
Joe.
makes
Wait
sense.
for it. Hold on. Here it comes. I love you always forever.
I can't. But yeah, that's
Look.
that's how I
I'm
feel.
not even mad at that analogy. Like I could see that. Like Land of the Lost is a hokey movie. I do
Mhm.
think it's funny.
Oh,
and
now it's a hokey movie. Really?
Danny
Really?
McBride
That's what
is
you're doing now?
funny.
It's a hokey movie?
Right.
Really? It's
So-
a hokey movie now?
But that's
It's
why my
funnier
first
than Weekend
instinct
at
was to say
Bernie's.
it's a funnier movie because I think it is funnier. I got bigger laughs out of Land of the Lost, but
Right,
there was
but
parts
that-
where I was bored with watching the movie though. It was like I was
But-
waiting around for the next laugh.
You know what, Joe?
If-
I love
if you-
you always forever.
If you're watching
I
a
love you too,
comedy,
You got
you want
the
to
most
get
beautiful
laughs.
smile I've ever seen,
So-
Joe. Beautiful smile I've ever seen, Joe.
He's blushing.
You've got the most beautiful smile.
I love you too, Ro.
Okay.
You wearing a coat?
Me? No, it's my
No,
beard.
bro.
Oh.
It's a tracker. It's a tracker.
All right, so Ro, what do you feel? What do you feel? I mean, I think I know your answer, but what do you feel is the better movie? Or what are
Again,
your thoughts?
I don't say things ignorantly because I've lived life. Sorry.
You just said your balls were on
I've been
fire.
walking every day, going for you. Always ever in yourself, and for forever, every day. I will. Sorry.
Hey, we could
Yeah.
just do the whole episode of just that.
It's the worst episode by far.
I'm
No
chopping all
viewers, no listeners.
Again.
No, you can't
And-
chop it.
Joe, I was cut. Joe, I would say this.
Hi, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
You guys are nasty. Guys are some crazy shit. The movies are not even the same realm, and that's why I brought that up. And so, what we need to do, we need to get in a conversation tonight of the disrespect for the elders to the youngers, and this is what we call a sequence by Ro. Carter. Hello, how are you? It's called Sequence with Ro. Carter. I influenced this on the actual live show. So what that means is, yeah. See his face right now. They'll just don't understand what I'm doing. T.I. and Busta. Can we talk about that for a second?
How we go from Weekend of
No, we
Yes.
can't talk about
Yes.
that for a second.
Yes.
You're the
That
only person that
disrespect-
watches versus.
disrespect, because this is disrespect for that. No, I'm not the only person that watches versus. This is lack of disrespect that I'm telling you that Weekend at Bernie's is because you're a fucking shithole of a fucking movie. That's my fucking point. Fuck your couch. Fuck everything.
I disagree.
Okay, you can disagree, but you don't know. I'm biking, bitch. Fuck your couch.
You
My-
and
my
bikes are
point is-
dangerous.
And my point is, if you give me the choice of watching Land of the Lost or Weekend at Bernie's, I'm not watching Weekend at Bernie's. I'm watching Land of the Lost because it's funnier and I'm gonna laugh.
Are you listening to T.I. or
Couple of
Busta? Are you
But-
listening to T.I. or Busta?
Busta.
That-
Exactly. That's
but-
my point.
Ev,
Get
question
some.
though. Question.
Sorry.
Does any of that have to do with the time period? Because I have trouble
100%.
watching old movies, sometimes dated movies, even the classics, because they're so dated. And it's like a lot of movies, like we were saying in our conversation we had, it's about the experience. And when I was a kid, Weekend at Bernie's was the shit. It was hilarious. It was great. But now I'm older, that comedy is not something I'm necessarily gonna laugh over, but I like the smart, quirky, silly comedy of Land of the Lost. So do you think is it that it's just a different time, or just comparing?
It's-
You can
it's a-
step outside and compare them fairly. You think?
I just think it's a better overall experience. If I'm presented with those two options
Mhm.
and to watch either one, if I have to sit in front for the next hour and a half of my life, and I have to watch one of those movies, I'm watching Land of the Lost. That's how I approached it when we talked about it, and kind of when I put the survey out there. Just because, and I get your point as far as me too. I go back and watch some of the 80s movies and dated movies, and what's not fair to them, and I will say this to a lot of those movies, a lot of what they've done, like the originality and all that's been copied so much and perfected by now that, when you watch it, you've seen something that's already done that better or whatever. Like when we do our remake of Weekend at Medea's, it's going to be better than Weekend at Bernie's because we, copied so much, we perfected on their imperfections.
Right. Yeah. No, that makes sense, because me and Eric were just talking about RoboCop. And he loved that movie as a kid, and he put it on for his boys, who they're both teenagers, they're both in high school, and they're like, "You like this? Like, this is so corny." He's like, "Well, what do you mean?" They're like, "Well, look what he can do. He's doing all this." They're like, "Well, yeah, he's half robot. He's supposed to do that." And I'm like, "But see, it's different because the sci-fi education kids have now is way different.
Their expectations are so much more.
RoboCop
was one of those movies also.
We didn't know what, you know what I mean? We didn't know all the technical aspects of the science part of the science fiction. Nowadays that's more.
You know how you fix that? How you fix that? Don't show your kids RoboCop.
It's true. But it's the same thing where I have kids and I want to show them something. I'm like, oh, you gotta watch this. This is great. And it's the same thing. It's like, one, the kids don't have the attention span. If it doesn't grab them or whatever within that first few minutes, then they're not watching. It's funny that you say RoboCop, because we had VHS, growing up, all of us, like VCR tapes, and you had to rent from a video store. We used to have 2 VCRs where you would play one and then tape the other one and bootleg your own movies.
No, that was a good house. No. Yeah. Don't mean like that was everybody's house. That's a good house.
That was our house.
That's a good house.
But we had,
it was a spot. It was a spot.
My point is, you had a father if you did that. That was my point.
That's one, yeah. And two, that was the spot. You just had to bring your blank tape. Somebody had to take one for the team and had to rent the movie, and everybody else had to bring the blank tape.
Somebody go in mom and dad's room and take their VCR. Make sure you take the tape out.
My point is,
I thought you were gonna say take their movie.
Their wedding.
You don't want to see that.
Who is this Deborah? Why is she in Dallas?
What is she doing? All these different things.
Yeah.
How do you do a city?
That's so funny.
But so RoboCop was one of those that we bootlegged and we had a couple of movies that were our favorites. Sometimes if you've got the extra long VHS, you can put 2 movies on one VHS or a couple movies. And RoboCop was one of them. So every line in that movie we knew. And my brothers and sisters to this day, like the other day, I spoke to my brother for the first time in a while, and I was like, I'd buy that for $1. And he knew right away what we were talking about. And then he goes like, tastes like baby food, and little lines like that. And nobody else would know, but I was from watching RoboCop.
Yeah, that's one thing about you and your siblings. You guys not only quote movies, but you guys find the most obscure lines. Like you could tell it's stuff that probably was like inside jokes between you guys, because they're lines in movies that I'm like, what the hell are you guys quoting? Like, oh, that's from Fargo.
Yeah.
Who quotes Fargo?
Yeah, but a lot of those movies have it's about the experience, and either we had the video, so that was something, or we had to watch, so we'd watch these movies over and over.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, you remember them.
I actually remember the first movie we ever I don't know, bootleg. It was American Werewolf in London, and I remember my dad having his friend brought over his VHS, his VCR, whatever the hell, and them not knowing what the hell they were doing. because typical dad, like I'm not reading this, whipping out every cable I have in my cable cabinet and just putting everything together. And that was the first one we recorded. And I remember this only because it was right around the time we had I got my Nintendo. And as a kid, all my friends had one already, so I knew how to hook it up. And my dad's like, "Nah, get away. You're a little kid. You don't know what you're doing." And I'm like, "No, I know how to do it." I don't know what he did, but somehow he rigged it so that he was recording on the VHS what we were playing on the Nintendo. He couldn't have done it if he tried. My brother came home like, "Dad, what the hell are you doing?" But yeah, anyway, but we were that house. That was like the spot if you wanted
Yeah,
to
we
move
had
her.
our first movies that, like, when we first started, like the beginning of the movies would be cut off because we couldn't get it going and then it was like you just started recording like halfway through the beginning of the movie. What about you, bro?
What about me?
Nah, we're just checking to see if it's still there.
What are you drinking?
Yeah, what are you drinking?
The Claw.
The Claw.
Oh.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. I love you guys. Thank you so much for making me part of your ride. I'm gonna finish off about 20 seconds. Thank you so much, because you can't get a lot of rides out here in New York City. So I'm glad Joe killed it first half, and then Evan killed it for the second half. You guys are amazing. Fucking keep it going, bro.
Cheers.
Love your couch. Oh, wow. All right. Wow, that's cute. All right, so thank you again. Love it. Keep Black Lives Matter. Vote. Let's go.
All right, so we're just gonna mute him. So
I can cut him out later anyway. So.
Yeah, I'll edit the.
But
video.
I'm glad he's here. I'm glad he's here. But so yeah, let's talk about comedies though, and what do you think? Well, before we even get to comedies, because I wanted to like maybe list like your top 10 or top 5 comedies, but I actually have a problem with list, and it goes to when people make lists of best players and basketball, best rappers, all lists are subjective because to every individual, it's more about what it means to them personally rather than objectively,
Agreed.
attributes of whatever it is, like better movie. So if we're going to talk about the best comedies, what are we talking about? We're talking about scripts, how they're written, how they're delivered, or but I just want to make it more about what comedy movies mean to us individually. Like what are some of the movies out there that you can go back, those movies that you can go back and watch and still find something funny or find different things that like a good comedy in my eyes is something that you can watch over and over and find new stuff and watch. Maybe you're not watching the main character and you watch some of the side players and you watch what they're doing and you find stuff that they're doing funny.
Right, because you've seen what the main people do already a million times,
right.
So you know that by heart. Man, that's a toughie.
I'll go with my top. Just
go ahead. You start.
Just because whenever I start talking about comedies, one of the first movies I always bring up, and I'm not going to bring. There's a lot of like classics that we can go back to, like Mel Brooks movies and different things like that. But as far as like me coming of age and watching movies, I always start with Dumb and Dumber, the original Dumb and Dumber with Jim Carrey and what's his name?
Lloyd.
Yeah, no,
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
yeah,
I can.
we hear you.
Okay, really, you fuckers are blocking me?
Had to mute you because whatever the hell they're playing back there was super loud, and you weren't saying anything. So I was waiting for you to start talking.
Oh, okay.
If just technically, Joe, you don't have to block them because you're gonna send me your audio, and then when I get his audio, if it's too much, I can cut him out. But yeah, for the YouTube, that may be a problem. So.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
we hear you, and you sound good. Yeah, so I said, go ahead, bro.
The two movies you were thinking about?
Well, I said just one of the first when I talk about funniest movies that that I like and I can go back and watch over and over. I got a list of a few, but the first one I start with is Dumb and Dumber, the original Dumb and Dumber. Just because I like a lot of the acting in it where they play it so straight and but it's funny. It's absolutely hilarious. I can't think of the directors' names of it. The Farrelly brothers, great. I think they're very funny and they're very genius. A lot of the movies they do, I'm a fan of. But yeah, that movie just one of the reasons also I saw that with my older brother. We went to a movie theater, probably here on Staten Island, and one of the reasons that was funny was because listening and watching my brother crack up to the jokes.
Was that Billy?
Yeah. If you ever met my older brother, he's a big guy, and when he laughs, I mean, he makes sure everyone hears it. So, yeah, we're in the theater, and this guy is just cracking up, and it's almost disruptive, but he's so big, nobody's going to say anything to him. So he's just laughing, and so it just makes it that much more funnier. So that experience is one of the reasons why, I would move that movie to the top of the list.
Yeah, for me, Dumb and Dumber, it was a sleeper because I didn't see it in theater. A lot of my friends liked it, but like kind of older people, I guess, or whatever. They thought it was stupid or dumb, whatever. And eventually I saw it. And the thing about Dumb and Dumber is that it disguises itself as a really dumb movie, like just silly, just, over the top, silly slapstick kind of comedy, but it's actually really smart. Like Jim Carrey and God damn, what is that guy's name? Floyd.
Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels. Yeah.
The other white guy.
Yeah, the other white guy. They're from one, they're amazing actors. They're smart guys, and there's just little nuances to the jokes, and like you said, because they really took on the characters full board, just like we're gonna
and watching them play off each other, because like Jim Carrey's like one of those comedic geniuses and very physical comedic actor,
improv,
and then so when he's doing something, watching Jeff Daniels keep a straight face while he wants to crack up with some of the stuff, and then he just plays along with it.
And he holds his own too, because Jeff Daniels isn't necessarily known as a comedic actor. He's been in how many movies and he's great at what he does, but you think of him more as drama. So
I think that was his first movie I can remember him doing comedy. So I definitely did not expect it. Another reason why it was great.
And then Jim Carrey was already known for his kind of crazy characters and antics from Living Color and his other movies, Mask and all that stuff. So it was interesting to see, the chemistry there. Like you wouldn't think it off the top of my head. I wouldn't think Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels.
Right. What I think what happened with that movie too was, I forget where it is timeline wise as far as Jim Carrey movies, but Jim Carrey was already breaking out. I think he did maybe Ace Ventura and which I think was one of his first, where as far as standalone movies, and it became a big hit. So this may have been second or third after that, and so the hype around Jim Carrey and all that, and everybody just wanted to see what and then he comes along with this
Mask
movie.
was actually his first movie.
No way.
No, it was that vampire movie.
Ace Ventura. Well, he did the Earth Girls Are Easy.
Mask where he blew up.
No way. Ace
Mask where he blew up.
No, he was already.
Mask where he blew up.
No, because he was already big after In Living Color.
Let's see. Both of them were in 1994.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Exactly. Mask took him propelled to the next one.
So it may have been Ace Ventura, then Mask, and that's why I was. See if I could get
the Mask. He was Ace Ventura, yes. But then
I think Ace Ventura.
Well, I mean, just to stay on Jim Carrey for a little bit because he's got a bunch of good ones, but another as far as comedy goes, and this is a I think it's considered a dark comedy, but it's one of my favorite movies in general is Cable Guy.
Okay, well,
Uh,
that's great. Very
that's a
underrated.
movie. It's underrated. That's a movie I can watch whenever it's on.
I hate it.
And
I hate it.
Joe, you were talking
oh,
about Once Bitten. That was the
Once
vampire
Bitten, yeah,
movie,
yeah, yeah.
1985. And I said Earth Girls Are Easy. There's a bunch of other things there, but then Ace Ventura was his first big one. Then The Mask and Dumb and Dumber was next.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
No,
yeah,
you're right.
All three
yeah,
of
but Ace
those were in
Ventura was big.
1994.
All in 1990. But Ace Ventura was huge because I remember,
Yeah.
it was one of those first comedies that broke like 100 million
Yeah.
in the box and
Yeah,
had like
and
very
yeah,
little
Courtney
budget. And then
Love,
The Mask was huge.
But I personally
Mask
like
is-
the Ace Ventura 2 more.
When Nature Calls,
When
yeah, that
Nature
was
Calls with Tommy Davidson and the Chicago and all that.
that
I
was great. That was beautiful. I
that
laughed so
was
much.
I one
But
I
that's
one
it. I didn't laugh after the movie.
there are like there are a few comedic
Yeah.
actors that as soon as you see them before they even say anything, you laugh. You're happy to see them. Tommy
You're
Davidson
ready,
is
you're
one of
ready.
those people.
Yeah,
In fact, a lot of the cast of In Living Color.
in Living
David
Color.
Allen
Yeah.
Greer is
Yeah.
another one. As soon as I see his face, I'm laughing before he even opens his mouth because it's something stupid coming out, but funny.
But none of those mofos give any love to Keenan Wayans,
Keenan Wayans, yeah.
right?
Yep.
Like
I think
what's
they
the name
do.
won? No, what's the name won?
Like who?
Jamie won an Oscar. He didn't say Keenan.
Jamie. Every time I see Jamie, he talks about.
He
When's the
didn't
last
do it
time-
on the big.
Did you see him? When's the last time you
Big
saw him?
stage. He didn't do it on the big stage. He didn't say, "Yo, I want to thank my starting
Yeah.
was."
Maybe because
I'm
he's
saying-
done that already. Because I think they did that, like in their interviews. So I don't know. It could be wrong.
I'm saying the biggest stage you are in. I'm saying if you don't, again, I forgot. Again, my birthday, right? Let's say it's not my biggest day, but in my mind it is. I give Joe rep for
It is
there's some
back to
people
his
that call me.
birthday. Back to his birthday.
You know what, man? It's not about me. It's not-
It's not about you.
Oh,
All right. I'm sorry.
this is Woken Up Wolf, not After Hours with Ro.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
His interview all tomorrow is gonna be about his birthday and how it was stolen from him.
Yeah.
So you've been
You should just
in,
interrupt her all the time. Yeah. So you've been in countless movies, and so let's talk about my birthday because would you get married on your best friend's birthday?
That's a good question, though.
That's gonna be a question.
That's actually a great.
Yeah.
That's a great.
I
like,
think
do
should
you
that.
recall your first role and like that nervousness and excitement? Was that anything like what you felt when you found out it was my birthday?
That's a good question. Definitely ask
I'm
it.
really gonna ask that question tomorrow.
Would you plan a wedding on one of your close friends' birthday? Just saying.
Yeah.
And if that close friend was
I'm
me,
saying, your birthday. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna do it. That was great.
Good. But Cable Guy was like panned, I think, critically. Like the critics didn't like it.
Mhm.
Like we were talking, Jim Carrey had such a string of movies. I think he went to Pet Detective 2, so everything was up. Then he did this, which was like a dark comedy.
Right.
But the acting, I thought his acting alone was great. Like just how he showed that emotion and that stalker like.
Yeah.
And then Ben Stiller. I love Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller is another one that I can watch. Anything he does.
What I loved about the Cable Guy was because you said Ben Stiller was the ongoing gag of the court case going on throughout that
like
time.
the
It
fake
was
Menendez.
the fake Menendez brothers, and it was Ben Stiller played one of the brothers.
Yeah.
And it was just this ongoing. It was always in the background throughout the whole movie, but it was.
I always remember that there's a part where he's testifying. He's like, they're speaking Asian. They were definitely speaking Asian and
Yeah.
said something in Asian.
He was. I'm not sure, but he was something. I'm pretty sure he was Asian. He was talking something. He was Asian.
Sounded like Asian. Yeah. So there's a lot of subtle stuff like that. And like we said, good comedies have subtlety.
Yeah, and Matthew Broderick played a great straight man in that movie too. Yeah. Like I think that helped a lot because his like trying to deal with this crazy stalker dude, but him still being a really nice guy and being pushed to his limits. I think it's a slept on movie, and I think a lot of people would, if they return to it, would be like, oh wow, I don't remember this being this good. Yeah.
All right.
What about you, bro? What comedies like? What's one of your top?
Are you talking about comedians or
no comedy movies?
Just funny movies, comedy movies.
Funny
like
movies.
what are
comedy movies?
The Jerk is one of my favorites.
The Jerk?
The Jerk. That's a good one. Steve Martin.
A lot of people don't know about The Jerk. Yeah, that is one of my favorite stand-up comedies and Trading Places. The Jerk.
Trading Places
has
classic.
So many I don't know. I would love to see a black version of that. Kind of like what Eddie Murphy did on SNL, but like The Jerk is so beautifully done, and he was. I think when I moved to LA, I bought 3 movies. No, sorry, I bought 1 movie. I brought 2. I brought The Jerk. I brought the Guy with 2 Brains, and I bought Jerry Maguire.
Really?
That's odd selection, but that's good.
You hit me with the first 2. The last one.
Yeah, 2 Steve Martin movies, and then
because I thought those movies would encapsulate me in like how to be an actor. Because the range is so crazy. Like literally suction cups his fucking hands and then he does the wall.
yes.
You know, I was like, oh my God, like range? That is range. And then I was like, okay, show me the money. You know, it's like, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of classic acting in that.
That's what I'm saying. So at the time, that is the movie I bought and the 2 movies I brought with me. And I thought I'm gonna watch them fucking religiously, and that is gonna be because when you go to audition, that's what you have to read something. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be my shit. I'm fucking going here. Yeah, my monologue. I'm fucking read this. I'm fucking read that, and I was like, oh, I'm black. I'm good. Black is good. And then
Hey, bro. So is it safe to say you're a Steve Martin fan?
What?
It's safe to say you're a Steve Martin fan, right?
I am a Steve Martin fan. Right? Besides The Jerk, Roxanne, only because my uncle, who is white, he listens to hip hop. We rode in the car, but we listen to music and Rex and Effects is my first album, but Will Al Yankovic was my shit. And Will Al Yankovic, I want to interview you. We want to interview you. I'm gonna throw it out again. I've already thrown that out to Weird Al. That's another conversation, but let me know.
All right. So have you seen An Evening You Will Forget for the Rest of Your Life on Netflix? It was on Netflix with Steve Martin and Martin Short.
No, I couldn't watch that because Martin Short pissed me the fuck off.
No,
he's so annoying.
Give it another chance.
Sorry, Martin Short.
As a Steve Martin fan, you need to give it another chance.
Martin Short is so annoying to me.
I like
sorry.
Martin Short's got some good stuff too, I think.
But he was great in what's the name when he had he was the sections guy. What was what was that?
The host, the TV host or whatever.
Yeah. That was he was money there. That was the fucking best actor.
Ed Grimley's
Ed Grimley was the best. and even the
Yeah.
cartoon. I think
Yeah.
you should give it a chance because they are
Okay.
both they're
Okay.
it's they're both seasoned. You're looking at two really seasoned
Yeah,
comedians,
veterans. They get. Yeah,
and
they know each other
it's
too.
effortless. There's a scene with, and I agree with you about Martin Short. He gets annoying, but there's a
Yeah.
scene where he comes out with he's dressed in like the I don't know what it's called, so forgive me, but the outfit that they wear when they're playing bagpipes, with the kilt and the
Yeah.
hat and all that, right? He
Yeah.
comes out on one end, and this big, I'm only assuming Irish dude or Scottish dude, sorry, comes out from
Scottish,
the other
yeah.
end, and he's playing there's a bagpipe music playing, and he's playing the bagpipes, and they walk towards each other, and then I believe he puts him down, and then Martin Short jumps into his arms, okay, and sticks his thumb in the guy's mouth. And the guy
Yeah.
starts taking Martin Short. He's holding him like a baby and starts taking his legs, and he's basically treating Martin
Playing
Short
him
as like a like the
Yeah.
bagpipe,
bagpipe.
and it's fucking
Yeah.
hilarious, dude. Like
Yeah.
the way he does it, I'm like, come on, like, that's comedy that's lost. That's that
Okay.
smart, that's that subtle stuff. And I agree with you 100%. He gets very annoying. Now he probably will annoy you in this, but I think it's worth seeing it because they're both
Okay.
great.
Okay. I will check it out. I will check it out.
Hopefully,
It's
it's still on
funny.
Netflix.
One of the things so Ro mentioned Weird Al Yankovic, and I just want to say real quick, he had a movie called UHF,
Oh, wow.
which that was another one of those movies that we had or we rented, whatever, and we watched, and we just thought it was hilarious. Michael Richards, who played Kramer on Seinfeld, he was on. That was one of his first. He plays a character called Stanley Spadowski. Don't ask me how I remember all this, but and so they had all these obscure shows that they were putting on this UHF channel, and it's hilarious. There's some funny moments in there.
I gotta watch that.
But it's also, I think, one of those movies too. I remember it being hilarious, and then going back and watching it, I was like, because a lot of the jokes may have been done before, so.
Yeah.
I don't know if it still holds up, but I did see it briefly but it was a couple scenes that I was like, oh, this is hilarious. One of those things I was showing my son, I was like, oh, watch this. Look, they got a show called Wheel of Fish. And it's like Wheel of Fortune, and they spin it, and they get fish, and then they just slap them in the head with a fish. So I'm like, sounds funny. And my son's like, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
So,
God.
but yeah.
It is kind of hard to justify some of the stuff we found funny to
Yeah.
kids these days because it's like you had to be
Because
there.
we were
That's the only way to
kids, so,
describe it.
right.
You had to be there.
So Joe, someone's asking you what's your top? Like you gotta have a go-to top movie. Like I said, Dumb and Dumber. What are you pulling out?
I think my go-to is probably gonna be Step Brothers, and I mean I know that's a pretty common one.
That's a great movie.
But
It's on my list. It's number 2
for
usually.
And I think the reason for it is what you were saying, like a comedy for you is something that you can return to. That's a movie. Every time I watch it, I catch something else that I miss, a line, a joke, something in the background, and it was unexpected. The movie came out of nowhere. It seems like it was just randomly Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly did this movie together. And I thought, honestly, just on the previews alone with their hair, like both of them, I was like, this is going to be funny. But I still wasn't really.
The promo
expecting all that
picture
much.
is what got me. The actual promo picture for the movie was like a J.C. Penney's portrait.
Yeah.
So that alone, I was like, I gotta see that. The fact that they were able to pull that off and make it look as stupid as it looked.
That movie, so I liked it the first time. Me and you saw it in the movie theater. We were drunk and
We were drunk. It was after Hooters.
Right.
It was
After
one of those after Hooters, and we were like had time to kill. Let's go watch Step Brothers, and
it didn't disappoint. Like we were like, wow, it was fun. And that's rare when that happens, when you have high expectations and then they're met. It's like, fuck, that was awesome. And then so I liked the movie, but it wasn't until the second time we saw it probably like at least a year later because it was already on cable.
Yeah.
And we
I
watched.
remember we had to watch it again because I remember the first time it being so funny. I was like, yeah, but we were drunk. Let's see if it's still.
Yeah. And Ro
holds
was
up.
there.
We
I don't
watched
know
it at your
if
house,
Ro
right?
had seen it. We watched it at my house. It was me, you, Ro, my brother, and maybe like Sean. I feel like there was someone else there, but that it wasn't until that second time that I was like, yo, this shit is fucking funny. Like, because like we said, we had seen all the other stuff, and now you're looking at, things you didn't notice before. And it's just joke after joke. That little,
Here's the other thing.
hidden
So the
joke.
first time you watch it, we had a buzz on a lot. You're laughing so much that you don't catch some of the stuff that's still going on with
Right.
the joke. So then when you watch it the second time, like, oh my god, that's yeah, those are the good comedies do that.
Yeah, and then when you have actors like a Will Ferrell who's great at improv, and you have a director that'll let him do his
Yeah.
thing and let him do a million takes, and then we'll just go with the funny one or the funniest one. That's always great, because he's a genius with some of the stuff he comes up with off the top of his head. He doesn't.
Some of
Even,
the great with that movie and a lot of Will Ferrell movies, just go watch like the gag reel on YouTube. And I'm sorry.
See, that was why I did it, because that is way too
Good.
loud.
But I was saying about the gag reels, and if you go on YouTube and just watch like a Will Ferrell gag reel, and I have the Step Brothers ones, and some of him. One of the funniest gag reels is Will Ferrell on Eastbound and Down.
Yeah, I was just
which
about
on
to
the
say.
actual show, I didn't think it was that funny. But there's a gag reel out there where it's him. What's his name?
Danny McBride.
Danny McBride, and then the other guy. There's a scene with them with
his name.
Craig Robinson.
Craig Robinson.
Craig Robinson. Yeah. So if you get a chance, YouTube that. It's funny because they just straight improv and they just keep going.
And I saw that gag reel before I actually watched the show, so it made that scene funnier for me because I knew everything that went on behind that. But that is one of the best gag reels. It had my side splitting because just the nonsense that he was coming up.
Let the boy watch.
Gabriel.
My wife Donna.
What gag reel?
Painful love.
We're talking about Will
Donna.
Ferrell's gag reel from Eastbound and Down.
Oh yeah.
That's like one of the funniest gag reels.
Yeah, but Step Brothers that's like number 2 on my list, and I'll argue with, especially like my father or some people. They'll be like, "Yeah, it's funny, see, but it's not that funny." I'm like, so again, it's about the experience and what it means to you.
Yeah.
Another movie I want to bring up because me and my sister Danielle,
Yelly
she
Bear,
was on the show. Yeah, she was on the show.
and still is, I think, because the show's still around. I guess.
Yeah, unless Roe gets canceled tomorrow. But Super Bad. It's another movie that me and you saw together.
Drunk.
Now, Danielle's reaction is she's like, it's not that funny. And so like I'll get mad and like what's wrong with you? I was like, I know you're not that stupid. What do you mean?
I know you're not that stupid.
But so now in her defense, and this is what I mean about everyone's experience. Like we saw it early on and we didn't know what to expect. So then when we did see it, we just, thought it was the greatest movie ever.
Right.
She didn't see it, so it blew up and it got hyped so much. So everyone's telling her, go see it. So she doesn't see it for, I don't know, if a year or whatever. After everyone's gonna tell her, go see it. So the hype, the movie can't possibly live up to the expectations that it is for her. So that's why I think it was kind of a letdown.
Yeah.
And she also said, she wants to go back and watch it like with fresh eyes. But that's what one of those things. It's like The Sixth Sense. If someone tells you the ending and then you watch it, like, this movie sucks.
Yeah, that was ruined for me. But I agree, and that happens, I think, for a lot of movies that get so blown up. Another one that comes to mind for me is The Hangover, which I mean, it's a great movie, funny,
Great movie.
but no, I hear me out. You're not even paying attention to what we're talking about. So I know a lot of people who actually didn't think it was all that funny because it was blown up so big before actually watching it. And like you said, there's no way it's gonna live up to the standards that, like, people are like, oh my god, it's like funny. That's why a lot of times I don't want to hear about a movie. I want to experience it on my own. I don't want to hear any reviews. I don't want people.
If you've been to Vegas, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, the Hangover is funny in the sense that
if you've been to Vegas, it doesn't matter. If you've never been to Vegas, yes, Joe, everything you say makes sense. Otherwise,
my thing with the Hangover was, and I love it. I think it's great. I think it's actually a great movie, and the writing is so on point. But same thing. I saw it. I didn't see it early on, so it was hyped for me. So, but one of the things that movie did and what redeemed it is, so when I watch it, and in the beginning, like, they cut through everything, so they like fast forward it, and then you're like, so I'm like, wait a minute. So now I'm already kind of disappointed. Like, wait a minute, they're not going to show what happened. Like, how you fast forwarding through their whole 24 hours in Vegas. So I was already kind of like, this is going to suck. But then the way they did it and go back to everything, it redeemed itself. And I thought it was genius.
Because me personally, it was relatable, because how many times have we woken up the next day after going out, not knowing what the fuck happened, and looking in our pockets for clues,
for receipts,
calling like, bro, how the hell did we get home? Like, like the time I was kidnapped, it's like, bro, what the fuck?
Never happened to me. I don't know what you're talking about. Ro, maybe last weekend.
Hey, Ro, did you get new shades? Did you replace the old ones?
I did. I have them on me, but I did.
You have them on you, and so you remember that picture that you texted us a little while ago?
Yeah.
Did that occur?
No, I'm running all day.
Oh, okay. All right. Because I'm just saying, you don't want to break another pair of sunglasses. I shouldn't have brought up the sunglasses. He's putting them on. Here we go. He's going to fall off the bike. If Roger, if there's one thing about Roger, him and bicycles don't necessarily have the greatest history.
Talking about, we were money all day.
No, I'm talking about you in the history of bicycles. Like, you always have you have at least 3 bike stories. No, I have one. Remember that time you stole your bike?
Stolen bike stories.
Stole his bike from McDonald's.
Oh man, I had to beat him. Oh,
remember that? But he got it back though. He chased him on foot. He was relentless. And his mom, we went to the laundromat and like, hey, Roger's got his bike stolen. He went chasing after the kid, and his mom hopped in the whip like, left the laundromat like, fuck you guys. And by the time she caught her son, he was coming back with his bike like, that's right, I got this shit back. Because it was 2 kids that was stupid, and one hopped on the bike and the other one ran. So Rose like, I'm gonna get one of you motherfuckers. Like, if I don't get my bike, I'm gonna get the one running.
Wow. And all because I'm trying to help my cousin from the south just return an object, and I couldn't bring my bike in. So I left it out in the vestibule and no alarms. Ah, man.
Yeah, good times.
Your favorite, your best bike it was like a Pee Wee Herman bike that you had that got stolen from the Lower East Side. Didn't they clip it?
Yeah.
No, you're mixing stories. So the bike. So Aaron. That's wow. That's
what bike I'm talking about? The one you had with all the bells and whistles.
Literally bells and whistles.
Yeah, I mean, it was his
best. Did anybody go to Friday's parties at all? Didn't you guys go to Friday's parties?
Mm-mm.
No one's going to Friday's parties I'm
sure I went with you.
On Leonard, there was like when Drake first started. So if you didn't live in the neighborhood, there's no one invited. But if you were, I invited you.
I might have been out here already.
Oh no,
No, it was early on. I think we went to maybe one.
One.
Remember when we first met Friday? So
yes. Because everybody knows Friday. You got to meet Friday.
yeah. So if
Friday the
Friday,
person.
yeah.
Yes, Friday the person.
Okay,
Not like Friday night.
about.
Friday the person.
Oh yeah, I don't know who you're talking about. I never
You
met
never
nobody.
met Friday?
He met Friday. We would have to describe him, man.
Tall black man looks like
Real laid back.
Tyrese?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, really? Oh wow.
No,
All right.
but if it was in my 20s, then I mean that's that whole decade is a blur.
How old are you now?
40.
Yeah, nice.
We went to one of his parties. I think when you worked in Tribeca, because he had the parties in Tribeca. So one of the parties.
That's what I was. Yeah, on the west side. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Mercer. One in Mercer. One of those fucking. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, you guys are there.
That's another.
Anyway,
there was a lot of parties I was at that I don't remember. Let's just leave it.
Okay.
As you should.
What's the point of this conversation?
It's not a good party. It's not a good party unless you can't remember it. We're talking about your bike and when you.
Oh, so I had a beautiful swing like the Pee Wee Herman bike, and it was still parked to the that corner. Yeah, I made a deal with the devil, aka Aaron Hansen, and I had the bike, so I left it parked outside Friday's house, and it disintegrated. Those bikes don't do well in the cold. Not do well in the cold. Yeah, it disintegrated on its own. I would go in every night and just check up on it. I was like, where am I gonna go with that bike? And it was like, because it was a summer like beach bike. I was like, what am I gonna do with that? But it had 3 cycles, so it was one of the best beach bikes ever. I've never made that bike again. 3 beach cycles, which is unheard of. Anybody knows cycles on a bike, but it literally was like a mountain bike. You can go up a fucking hill on a beach bike, and it was all blue. Yeah. Magneta and Aaron and I fell out for a minute because the shit gone down in a certain industry. So but that's the one. He was like, "That's my bounty. You got it. There you go." I was like, "All right, cool." But I didn't respect the bounty, so it's a different time. But anyway, love is love. Respect the bike.
Shout out to Aaron.
Shout out to Aaron. Speaking of bikes, though, and we mentioned the Pee Wee Herman bike. That's one of my movies up there, and that was one of those movies we had on VHS. Was Pee Wee's Big Adventure. That was a Tim Burton movie, one of his first movies, and it's one of those movies that I think is genius. It has a whole different array of actors, but everything in it I thought was just spot on. There's so many things that as you watch it over and over, you find other things that are funny.
You know what's crazy? I was actually scared of that movie because of the scene with the truck driver.
Large Marge, when she her face that scene alone, I couldn't enjoy the rest of the movie because I knew that part was coming up. So I was scared of it. Yeah, but that was great. Yeah, that was great. So you got in trouble for beating off in public. Which it's tame, but by today's standards,
you know what I mean.
The guy Jeffrey Toobin, who just got caught tubing on a call.
He was tubing on a call on a Zoom call.
Tubing on a Zoom call.
But my thing is damn, it really couldn't wait. Was there what was going on in the Zoom call that was was it?
My thing is no, that's they say it's an accident. There are no accidents.
Yeah, because it said he put the camera down.
Right. Maybe he forgot to turn the camera.
Has anybody seen
off.
Borat, the new one?
Not yet.
Borat, the new one, yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
I
Have
saw
you?
it last night.
Any good? What are your thoughts on it?
I thought it was kind of forced from what I saw. But you let me say.
I will say Trump will probably win another presidency. That's what I say.
What was that?
Trump will win another presidency based on what I saw.
you think Trump is going to win another presidency? Is that what you said?
Based on what I saw, yes.
I think he is. I mean, I'm not no political expert, and I won't pretend to be, but it's just a gut feeling. I think he's going to win again.
I think he is, just from when you go outside of the cities, New York and LA, and you just like, I just came from upstate, and it's Trump 2020 everywhere.
Yeah.
So
Dude, I'm on World Star on Instagram, and every fucking comment is about Trump 2020. Like any political on World Star, any political.
I think he wins by a landslide, and I also, a lot of it just has to
Landslide.
be.
I don't know about landslide, but
I do, because of what's his name's age, Biden's age. That's what people are not saying it, but that's the real reason. People are like, ugh.
Kamala, she proved herself. She's fucking money. But yeah, again, either
but
way,
she's not running. That's the problem. And I think I don't know why the DNC didn't. You know,
Switch
there
them.
was so many, but there was so much to choose from. You know, between
again,
Wang and Tulsi Gabbard and all these.
No, but they literally target every community.
It's a machine. Look, we're not going to get into my politics, but I believe it's a machine, and the presidency doesn't really matter in the sense that there's a group of people who want, they want what they want, and they'll put, whoever in front, and certain things need to get done, and
So who you got on this machine? Who's running the machine now?
It's always the same people, and it's always bankers.
Oh, stop being that guy. Say it.
No, I really believe is no, I don't think it's. I believe it is. It's not it's not even a thing where it's like organized and like stone cutters and they get right
now.
It's done. It's done by like the parties and then you have, and I'm talking about like the social parties where you have a group of ultra wealthy billionaires and bankers, and things get done like with sidebar over drinks and like, hey, you know what we need? Yeah. We need this to happen, and this happens, and then they make it happen. And that was the whole thing with Epstein and all that. Why that's such a big deal, because of those circles and the things that go on, and that's where the real decisions.
Why is he still alive?
Because he threatened to expose that.
Yeah. I think Sonny was right. The working man is a sucker.
Working man is a sucker.
Really?
That's how I feel about it.
And I'm glad you brought that up, because Bronx Tale, it's not, in my opinion, not one of the greatest movies.
One of the greatest comedies ever made.
It's so forced. But me and my brother, we went to acting. We went to acting school.
Did you really? Which brother?
Wesley.
Okay.
Me and Wesley went. And Wesley's a natural. He should be in movies. He was great. But we went to this acting school here on Staten Island. It was called the Jimmy Whispers School of Acting.
No.
And it was by an actor named Clem Caserta, who played Jimmy Whispers in Bronx Tale. That was his claim to fame. Yes. That was his claim to fame. He was a character actor like in Goodfellas, like the guy in the background.
Yes.
But he was Jimmy Whispers in a Bronx Tale. Look it up. And he had this acting school like out of a basement in Dungan Hills. And it was great. Great experience.
Yeah, that's just so
school of acting.
And you actually paid to go there. That's what's even funnier.
We paid to go. I know, we paid to go. And wasn't a lot, but I wouldn't give up that experience. It was great. One of the things, so he had like a classically trained, Juilliard trained teacher, this lady, and she was like real. So she took it very serious, and she taught the class. But then he would show up and tell her, don't listen to anything she did. Like, fuck her. She don't know what the fuck she's talking about. You gotta do this. And then we'd go into this whole thing. And it was great. Like we'd be sitting there and she would get mad and like storm off. I'm like, are they acting right now? But it was 100% authentic. Like she would go and tell you all these techniques, and then he would say, "Hey, get the fuck out of here," just like that. Like you don't know what you're fucking talking about. And
That's
then
hilarious.
But one of the great things he gave us was like so he'd been on set with Robert De Niro and Lorraine Bracco from on Goodfellas, so he would give us some of the techniques that they did, and so some of those things we learned. So that was worth it alone. But and then seeing him like kick out this Juilliard trained teacher and tell her she don't know what she's doing.
I mean, that's a skit right there. You could just reenact that whole experience, and that's a skit.
Oh, it was hilarious, and half the time. So then, half of the people in the class were like wise guy wannabes. I shit you not. They all wanted to do what he did and be extras in like Martin Scorsese movies.
Yeah.
So one of the guys in there, and this is hilarious. There is a show on one of those information channels, like a Dateline kind of thing, where they talk about wise guys and all that, real wise guys. And so they had like this expert, talking about wise guys and La Costa Nostra. It was this guy that was in my class.
Oh my God.
He was not an expert. He was a genuine wannabe. But he had everything down, and he's on this fucking show talking about, oh no, you don't go against the code. They'll fucking kill you, like. And
they had no clue that he was an actor, or
no, I don't even think he put it on for that's who he
his
really
resume,
was.
like I'm an expert.
Yeah. He was a fucking ex-mafia hitman. I'm like, no, you weren't. You were in the fucking acting class with me.
Your name's Jim Carpaccio.
Yeah. So that's all. So he would, wait for Clem to show up, and they would just to tell mob stories and stuff like that.
And what's his real name? Clem
Caserta.
I mean, I don't know which is better, his real name or his
Jimmy Whispers
character name.
Jimmy Whispers School of Acting.
I don't know. Clem Caserta sounds fucking great to me. That sounds like that's the name of my manager. That would be the manager for Jimmy Whispers is Clem Caserta, or his lawyer. That's my lawyer.
But yeah, so we went to his school of acting, so
that's fucking great.
That was great. I learned a lot. Never acted because of it. I did like one show. I did a pilot for the show called Cupid, and I was a reporter in the background sitting at a desk, and they cut all of me out except there's like one scene. It's just like the top of my head, and you can see it in the background. I watched it. I was like, that's me back there. Like a silhouette at the top of my head. That was my big claim to fame.
Mine was I made it on to a reality show. It was one of the girl from like the OC that came to Manhattan, and it was like the city life. Or I was basically the OC in Soho.
So what's his name's wife? The football player, Chicago Bears. Yeah, she was Jay Cutler's wife, Kristen Cavalier.
Yeah, Kristen Cavalier. Yeah, it was her show.
Jay Cutler's wife.
Yeah. So it was her show when she first came to New York, and she was working in Soho, and I was when I worked for FedEx, and I was delivering a package, and this wasn't my route. I was helping someone else. When I got there, so I'm kind of looking for the place. I don't know where it's at, and I find it, and then some young girl with like a headset. It's like, hold on, and I'm like, I gotta deliver a package. So she gives me this form to sign. She's like, look, they're filming a show, and I guess just clearance for me to go. And I'm like, I don't even know if I can because I'm in my FedEx uniform. But I'm like, fuck it, sure, and I sign off, and so I go upstairs to deliver the package, and sure enough, they're up there filming and they got everything going, and I walk in and I got the pad and the thing just looking, right, and the girl's like waving me on like over here, and I'm just like, sign here.
Looking directly at the camera.
Yeah. And then I finally, after years, I finally saw the episode, and barely even see me. You see like my arm, and it's like for a split second. I was just like, that's my claim
That's
to fame.
good.
That's my 50.
Reminds me of that. Reminds me of that scene in Pee-wee's Big Adventure when Pee-wee gets the he gets the role as the bellhop, and they change his voice and all that. But if you watch that in the background, what's his name, Brolin and the other girl, he's just like staring directly in the camera, and then he like moves away. So, Ro, what was your big on-screen debut?
You remember the Irish dude who had dropping in merchandise from another country? It was a show on HBO. I forget the name of that. I didn't know we were going to talk about it tonight. I would have the actual name. So I was in the airport. And I would say one other thing. Bill Cosby.
Man, that's a great story.
Bill Cosby. You on the Cosby Show? That's great.
You want the Cosby story? You want the Cosby story or not?
There's a Cosby story?
No, there's a story. You just said Bill Cosby.
You started with something else, and then you're like, Bill Cosby.
I gave you something I can't give you finish, but I can give you Bill Cosby finish.
Okay.
And before we knew what was going on.
Okay. Yeah. Tell the Bill Cosby story.
It's not funny. It's not good. It's awful. All right.
Come on, break it up.
All right. I'm saying it's Bill Cosby story. It's Bill Cosby. Anyway, how are we doing? On time.
We're doing. I don't know. How are you doing? You've been on that bike for a while.
Exactly. I'm fucking dying.
I would say you've been on there for at least 45 minutes to an hour.
I cried a little bit in between, and I got back on it. So, what was the point of the show tonight? I thought tonight's show was we were gonna say, what's the better show, better movie, and I still don't even know if I feel that. On top of that, I'm disappointed in everything.
So, an hour and a half into the podcast, you're not sure if you feel the topic.
Yes, the topic has not been resolved. Who won? What's the better fucking movie?
if we're going according to the polls, Land of the Lost.
We said this in the beginning, but you decided to do the podcast at a fucking party and just show up and you know what I mean. You didn't even know what day it was.
Why do we have a fourth box? Why?
We don't have a fourth box.
Exactly. Yeah, if you switch it over, you have a fourth box.
Have you even watched the show? When he puts it out, it's only 3. You're in the middle.
Okay.
But trust me,
right.
you will be cut tomorrow. We are
episode.
cutting you. We're gonna cut you completely out because you've been useless. You haven't contributed to the show. Thanks for showing up. If anything, you ruined the show because of your background noise.
That's all I need to hear you.
Tomorrow, I am calling in to After Hours with Ro, and I'm just going to annoy you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be so drunk tomorrow. I'm
gonna call in live, and you're gonna switch into me, and then I'm not gonna get off, so you can't interview your guest.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
Be ready.
Oh,
Thank you
and
so much.
Real quickly, it was brought to Evan's attention that some of the things that we may do on here that are a little distracting or annoying, such as eating or drinking or background noise, things of that nature. And I just want to say, really apologize for that. We'll try our best, but we try to cater to everybody.
Everybody.
We got a lot of ASMR fans that listen to this, so we want to make sure that
Give me more tips.
we'll make them happy as well.
More tips.
You know what I mean? So, but thank you for your comments, and we take all that stuff into consideration.
More tips.
More tips. No,
I'm getting a 6-foot sub next week. I'm just gonna eat the whole fucking sub.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to the dance party.
Please do.
Are we saying that's a wrap?
Yes, it is.
I apologize to my team.
We're gonna have the real show when you and 3, 2, 1.
Now. I thought you did
And all
that
we're gonna
already.
do is
I
talk
honestly-
about you.
Woken.
We're just
I
gonna talk
honestly
about
thought-
you.
I honestly thought you did that show already. Honestly, I was like, I'm not getting email or nothing.
Here's the other thing.
Bill Cosby.
Thanks for the
I think-
invite. You know, I could have
Here's
came
my-
out. You know, I'm off on Mondays. You know, I could have came out on a
Oh,
Sunday night.
I literally, I come in to
I
Sunday.
hate you.
Come from
I hate you.
I'm saving your marriage. Trust me.
I
I'm
know.
saving your marriage.
And I
Halloween,
appreciate
what
you.
are we doing? What are we doing on Halloween?
I might be doing something at my house. So
What
hit me
days
up during the
Halloween?
week. I'll let you know.
Let me know,
It's on
let
a
me know.
Saturday. I
Hmm.
work on a Saturday, but then yeah, I'll be home, and then we might do something Saturday evening.
Okay. All right.
All right.
So
Well,
we'll dress up.
is that a wrap? Is that?
I mean, I have more stuff.
All right, then let's go.
Joe, it's a lot of editing. Tonight.
Nah, I'm putting it out just like that.
No, I keep it. Keep it. They have
Just
to
like
accept
that.
us for who we are.
Let me tell you something, Brian. I'm amazing, by the way.
I don't even like popcorn. I don't. Jeez. Why am I?
Yeah, didn't you always have a
popcorn do you
thing
like?
about popcorn?
Yeah.
Joe
That was the only
always
snack
a
I
thing
had that
about-
was crunchy for the bit, and I really regret it now. I gotta brush
Crunch
my
Munch?
teeth.
You're not a fan of Crunch Munch?
I do like Crunch and Munch because the caramel kind of offsets the
Yeah.
fucking shit that gets stuck in your teeth. That's what I don't like about
They'll
popcorn.
get stuck in your teeth.
Oh, like you know the kernel skin and all that shit, and it's just like now I'm
So
gonna
you
sit
go on a
here.
date, you go on a
doing
movie
that for
back
like
when
an hour.
pre-COVID.
He doesn't
What do you,
like skin
you're
in
not
his
you're not
mouth.
getting popcorn?
Yeah,
Wait,
you go to the movie. You go to the movies. You're on a date. Do you get
oh,
popcorn?
I don't get popcorn at the movies now.
What do you get? Like Mike and Ike's.
Yep. You get Mike and Ike's, hot
Food,
dogs,
Junior Mints.
nachos.
Junior
Oh,
Mints.
what are your go-to? Mike's and Ike's?
Well, like
Yeah,
movie snacks.
three-
Since I don't.
Yeah, let's go movie snacks. What is your best movie snack?
Okay. See, I'm a cheap bastard, so let's start with this. I get my snacks outside of the movie
I go
theater,
alone.
so they're not
Well,
actually
you had to
movie.
pay inside. What
If
is
I
your
had to
movie
pay
snack?
inside,
we're
okay,
talking
okay.
in the
Okay.
movie theater, not
Okay, all right,
stuffed
fair enough.
inside your down jacket.
Fair enough. If we're talking inside the movies, if
Yes.
food wise, I'd say nachos. That's a go-to, or a hot dog, and then probably Sour Patch Kids and maybe Milk Duds.
Wait, what?
Milk Duds or Sour Patch Kids.
Milk Duds. Wow. All right.
Took it back.
Evan, go.
Popcorn with a shitload of butter. The worst thing they could
Wow.
have done is where you can butter it yourself.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I fucking drown that shit in butter. My
Wow.
arteries clog as I'm
Wow.
dumping the butter
Wow.
on the popcorn.
Wow.
That
All
and
right.
then the pretzel
And then
nuggets.
the extra butter.
Exactly.
You
Have a
want
little
side of butter with
popcorn
your
with my
butter?
butter.
Yeah.
Little popcorn with my butter, please.
How do you
And then
feel
the little
about the
pretzel ones.
jalapenos on your popcorn? Do they do that out there?
Fan. I've seen at the
No,
gourmet ones before COVID.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, cut some of the
Pre-COVID.
fancier ones.
So it's
Which
funny
is-
because here it's like a standard. You got, and it's not for
Really?
popcorn, but I mean there's like where you get the
that's
condiments. There's
Yeah,
jalapeno, pepper, and onion,
Yeah.
and maybe like relish, and then they have the mustard and the ketchup.
What?
Yeah, and that's like all the movie theaters, not even the fancy.
Standard?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're saying condiments not what you're gonna put on your food.
Right, just the condiments.
Oh, yeah,
but
okay.
but I know people, a lot of people. I guess I don't know if that's a California thing.
But the
that put
ArcLight is one of the
jalapeno
best
on
theaters.
It's
When I live
gotta
in
be.
Hollywood. Live in Hollywood, the ArcLight is one of the best movie theaters.
In Hollywood?
Yeah. Because it did all the premieres and Oracle, they can see everything.
You know what I
And then
don't.
the guy they present it like, okay, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we're now gonna present a movie, blah 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 2020. There you go. All right, enjoy. And I was like, any questions, please let me know. It's like, oh my god, that was amazing. And no matter what I paid for it, I felt good. So let me
And this-
tell me, Joe.
No, I was gonna say I don't understand those movie theaters that serve food and alcohol, because there's one out here. I think there might even be more than one, but one that I'm thinking of.
You want to
where-
drink, you're gonna pee, but you're gonna drink.
Exactly. I got.
I know,
As soon as I take that first piss, that's it. The movie's
Yeah.
done. I gotta watch it in the bathroom because.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
on top of that,
I think you take it on a date. If you've seen the movie before, that's a date.
yeah. I mean, exactly. I guess for the experience, because then they have some where they actually come out and serve you. So now I got somebody interrupting me while I'm trying to watch the movie, and I don't know. It's weird. I don't get it. I'd rather watch it at home anyway.
Take her out, Joe. Take her out.
Oh no, I'm married. I ain't got to worry about that stuff no more.
Anniversary. Take her out.
I got
Oh,
you.
what did you do for the anniversary, Joe?
No
nothing. Question.
We just chilled. We had some Peruvian food, since that was what we had at the wedding that day. So we catered some for the family here, and we hung out, just family style. But then the day before, me and Michelle went to
Taco Bell.
no, but we did, but we didn't eat there though. No, we went and got these lobster rolls that were fucking smacking from this place called New England Lobster Eatery and Market. So we went and got some lobster rolls from there, and then we drove down to Pacifica and just pulled up on the beach and just sat there all sad in the car eating. That was nice, but we kept it low key. We're both, just because my mother-in-law, we don't want to really do too much. We're gonna try to keep her as safe as possible, so we kept it low key.
COVID.
Yep. COVID 2020.
Crazy times.
Mm-hmm. But not that bad. I mean, considering the world's going to shit, I still feel like, for me anyway, it could be worse.
It's funny. It's funny you say it, because I was thinking about this. I was listening to like a podcast or something else earlier on the ride, and they were talking about, can't wait for 2020 to be over, or we only got 2 more months. That doesn't mean shit. 2020 ends, we go into 2021. It's still gonna. It's like, it's not like December 31st comes and then we count down and everything's gonna be great. Like, no, we're gonna have the same fucking problems. It's,
hopefully it'll be like this. Maybe it'll be just like a mass placebo effect, and everybody will just stop acting like a fucking idiot next year.
Yeah, maybe.
As soon as the new year hits.
Wise up, or I'm kind of hoping that with the election, no matter what happens, after the election, everybody just says, "All right, fuck it, it is what it is."
You guys are funny. No, sir, Bob. It's gonna be crazy as hell.
It is.
But it doesn't have to be. That's the mentality. Everybody thinking that and saying, "Oh, it's gonna be crazy. Oh, this is gonna." If nobody said that, then it wouldn't be crazy.
It won't be crazy. Yeah, everybody would go about their business, and
it's very subjective. So it's very subjective.
Yeah.
So I had one other thing, because you said something about Ro had talked about Steve Martin, and we talked about Jim Carrey, but as far as physical comedy, and there's some of the greats, and so I just wanted to bring I wanted to bring up one thing about physical comedy, but I made an observation. I was watching this movie, and this man is by no means a physical comedian, but he's a great actor, and he's in this movie. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I'm gonna say there's a couple scenes. There's one scene in particular that I was like, man, this is comedic genius. And the movie is The Wolf of Wall Street, and I'm talking about Leonardo DiCaprio. And there's a scene where he does where he's on the pain pills or whatever, and he's trying to get in the Lamborghini, and he physically has to do that. And I'm watching that like, man, this is great, because it's him. This is not a stunt actor or anything, and he's gone completely limp, and he's trying to get into this Lamborghini. And I think that's like one of the best physical comedic performances I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Wow.
I agree.
I mean, agree or disagree. I mean, if you've seen the movie, if not,
I mean, I want to see that scene again, but I know the scene, and it's not what you would expect from a Leonardo DiCaprio. You know, if it was a Jim Carrey, yeah, sure, that's what he
Right.
does. But you know, and this is something Roger can appreciate because he likes when people go out of their realm, sort of like when Wayne Brady cursed once. So,
Right.
you know,
So one
having
curse word.
you know what I mean. So having Leonardo do that physical comedy the way as well as he did it, and having been in something similar of a situation where you're so fucking trash that you can't move and you want to.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that was
I've
great.
never been in that situation. Yeah.
But so I've heard.
But yeah, I thought that. I remember the first time I saw that movie and watching that, and like, I was literally crying, like, "Oh my god, it's hilarious!" And then when he does get the door open, and it's a Lamborghini, so the doors open up like that, and it like carries him up by his feet. I'm like, "Oh my god,
You
that's
know
great."
who's kind of slept on as far as being a physical comedian? Not really slept on, but I think he's actually pretty good at it. And I liked it more on his show than in his movies. And it's Kevin James. And Kevin James, you know, he's a big guy. And
He's
if
a
you
big
watch
guy.
The King
He
of
used
Queens,
to fight. He used to kickbox or something.
Yeah.
Or he used to wrestle, and
he used to wrestle, yeah, and then he
Yeah.
was big on UFC. He used to train with Joe Rogan
Yeah.
and those guys. And
Oh my god.
if you watch The King of Queens, some of the physical acts that this big ass guy
Yeah.
does
He's
is
light on his feet.
amazing.
Yeah.
I just think like but it takes more than that. It takes more than just being physical, like the timing.
Well, speaking of big guys and being light on his feet, I got to bring up Chris Farley,
Of course.
Because the two Black Sheep and the other one. What's the other movie?
Tommy Boy.
Tommy Boy. There's some scenes in that, but I think it was Black Sheep, the one where he rolls down the hill. And you know that was physical comedy. That's him, and it's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh man, that
for a big guy to do something like that. Normally, you don't expect that from.
Right. We could do a whole podcast on Chris Farley because he was another one that was genius, but he falls into that kind of tragic, you know, Belushi, kind of where the good times got the best of him. But
there might be something there with, you know, when you're that funny or being on all the time that you need something to quell that.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you look at
a lot of them.
You look at what happened with Robin Williams, rest in peace. You know, he's one of the funniest people in the entertainment and always on, nonstop, high energy. Who would have thought in a million years he was dealing with demons that, you know.
Have you guys ever seen Dr. Detroit?
What was that?
Dr. Detroit.
Dr. Detroit with Dan Aykroyd.
No, I didn't see that.
A long time ago, but
Yes,
you
should see that.
Yeah.
It is a classic.
Is that a comedy or?
Yeah.
It's a comedy. It's Dan Aykroyd.
It's a comedy. Dan Aykroyd. It's one.
Dan Aykroyd is.
But all right, thanks because you just reminded me.
Thank you. Please remind that.
No, this has nothing to do with that. But reminding me about doing homework. So last week, you guys told me to watch The Secretary.
Secretary, yeah.
With Maggie Gyllenhaal. No, so I didn't watch it, but I went and watched
homework.
Listen, so I watched some YouTube clips of it. I was like, I got to see what this is because I'm thinking, all right, maybe they got the name wrong or whatever. So I watched. So the first clip is it's James Spader and he's spanking Maggie Gyllenhaal and telling her to read the letter. And I'm fucking crying. I'm like, oh, this is hilarious. Hilarious. He's spanking the shit out of her.
He's whipping her.
Yeah.
Fucking shit hurt.
Yeah. And it's great just to see him. He's such a good, like, he plays such a good creep. Like, you feel uncomfortable.
I think it's authentic.
If you hate
I
her,
really thought
you're gonna love her.
authentic.
That's the point of that. You took that away.
I can get that. Like, I could see it. I was like, okay, but I really thought, like, he's fucking spanking the shit out of her.
Yeah.
And his expression is really like,
yeah.
He was hit again. Like
he wasn't acting.
He wasn't acting.
his internal
like, I'm
creep
spanking
came out.
Maggie Gyllenhaal right now. Like, yeah.
They're like, cut.
She
He's like, huh?
took it. She took it. We're filming.
Excuse me? Oh, we're starting?
Yeah, you didn't see it again. Once again,
I saw the most important scene.
Evon,
Right?
once again, Evon, did you not see the
But
particular
so that brings me to a question for our viewers, our listeners. Do you enjoy getting spanked? What is it about? And to our female listeners and
you say, do you like spanking?
Do you like spanking? Do you? I actually have a problem with it as far like not me getting spanked. I've never been spanked outside of being punished as a kid, but I've been in situations as an adult and where they like to be spanked, and I'm very timid with it. I'm like, and it's always hard. I'm like, I can fucking hurt you. I can if I wind up and do this. Like, how hard do you want me to go? So I'm always confused.
Like,
so please don't ask me to spank you.
Evan's like, you're liking this, aren't you? This is.
I had a girl say, "Punch me in the face."
hit me in the face with a brick.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
And so I dropped her off at home.
Yeah. As devastated, I think,
Yeah, so I don't condone violence against women, and none of us do. But when you ask us to spank us, like, how hard do you?
Yeah, that's.
You want us to go?
Yeah, because that's relative, right? Spanking. Because I mean, that could.
Yeah,
I'm pretty heavy-handed. I've hit myself by accident. Like, God, that shit hurt. So I can't control my own.
There's three levels. There's three levels.
Or do you spank until you hurt your hand? Right, exactly. Like, if
I
hit you, but if it hurts my hand.
Or what if you go old school and say, go outside and get a switch?
There's three levels.
Give me a switch.
Yeah, like, is it erotic spanking, or did you just break my Wu-Tang album?
No, we're talking about. We're talking about
what kind of spanking are we talking about?
We're talking about erotic spanking. So
I have three levels.
How far do you push?
I guess. Yeah. Oh shit. Who's answering that first?
There's safe word level, right? Is that like the top?
Yeah. No, I guess that's.
Well, I mean,
upper nickel.
I said it.
Someone says spank me.
I can't.
I like it.
I'm going soft all the time. I'm never gonna give it. I'm never giving it more than 50%. It's always 10%. Like, it's just a tap, and that sound I just made is as loud as it would get.
If even that, I might just fake it. Just go.
Yeah, right. Clap behind you.
You didn't feel it?
You like that?
We can't.
That's how
Joe's
hard
gonna
it
run
is
out
when
of
you
breath.
feel it.
Joe's running out of breath. We can't really talk.
Never. I got stamina.
Who's the third guy? Oh, that's me. I'm the fan behind my head. Oh, that's me. Hey. I didn't know.
You just realized he was on camera.
That's crazy. I thought I was the box.
Yeah. So how hard you spanking her?
No, you definitely got it. On a scale of 1 to 10.
2 questions to spank. Wow, you little bitch, yo.
You have, dude. The climate that we're in today, you better be careful, bro.
Yeah. And here's the other thing. I don't think women understand how hard, like, I could fight. I've been in fights. I've trained, somewhat. So, like, you ask me to spank you.
You can knock somebody out with a smack.
I can knock you down. I can draw blood.
I'm going to Tony. I will cut you. Sorry.
Wait, I forget. Did you say that, or was that said to you?
Oh man, yes. It was both.
No, I cut you.
I was threatened.
There's nothing. Listen, for all our listeners out there, I've known Roger for 30 years, roughly, which is a long time. I've seen him get into his fair amount of altercations, and let me add, he never, for the most part, instigates it or starts it. He's always on the receiving end. But watching Roger get into a fight is got to be one of the funniest things you're ever going to experience in your life. For one, because he never stops trying to talk his way out of it. He doesn't want to fight. He's not a fighter. He will if he has to, but he's always trying to talk his, and he gives people the option, like, sure you want to do this? That's my favorite line. Sure you want to do this? So it's got to make you think, wait a minute, what? This guy's too calm.
And then when it happens, it's like,
It's always fast.
He warned
always
you.
fast.
He warned you.
It's man, it's always good times. Good times with Roger.
Yeah, but
I haven't
so
used those in a while, but thank you though. Thank you.
to our listeners out there, especially the female listeners, drop us a comment. Let us know, what do you think about spanking?
Yeah.
How hard is too hard? How hard is too hard?
What about
and just real quick, a quick plug. If anybody wants to comment, you can email us at wokenupwoke@gmail. And email us anything, comment about the show, questions, and yeah, we'll see that. Joe, what were you gonna say?
I mean, on the same kind of topic, I guess. How do you feel about pain as pleasure? Like, not only just spanking, because people are into like some freaky shit and whips and chains and all that stuff. Like, how do you personally? Do you get any pleasure out of pain?
I don't know, because that's, to me, it's I don't know, it's confusing as far as like what could you do painfully to me that I'm going to enjoy? Because if you're being intimate with someone, from the male perspective, there's only one thing that gets pleasure, and let's be honest, that's the penis.
Right, we're pretty simple.
You're talking about punching my penis or something. That's
Your
there's
balls,
no
bro.
pleasure
I'm
there.
gonna punch your balls, bro. Bang, 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 bang.
I'm gonna punch your balls like a speed bag. Yeah, no. So there's nothing good for that. But
that's
if you
my
mean
ball.
like, you mean, but like,
I'm gonna put my balls on your drum set.
better not.
That line right there, you better not.
Right.
That subtle little, that's two little kids arguing. I see a 7 and an 8-year-old like, I'm gonna go do this, you better not. It's those little lines, those little things that get me. That's the type of comedy I like.
Are you still putting your drum set on his balls? What are you doing, Joe?
Yeah, I'm putting my drum set on his balls.
Oh my god.
That's
Are you putting it
hurt.
on my head right now, Joe? Are you putting your fucking ball set on my head right now?
Yeah, where are you? Where are we?
I don't know. I feel like you're fucking.
I'm gonna hold on. Wait. I'm gonna teabag you right now.
I'm trying to duck that. No, not today, Joe. Not on my watch. Not on my watch.
He got me with the claw.
No.
So fellas, so in the heat of the moment, if she just turns around and punches you in the face, how are you taking that?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
That's what I mean. So when we talk about pain as pleasure, like, in what way can, as the male in the relationship or whatever, how do you take pain? How is the pain administered to you where it can be pleasurable?
I'm gonna start.
She give you like an Indian bird.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I don't even like to play fight, right? Because it always almost leads to a real fight. So you're not punching me. It's just not.
No.
And pain. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a fan of pain, so I've never understood that.
But
the connection
it is out there. It is a real thing, and it's I don't want to give away any names of my wife, but
maybe
she'll say some things and be like, I literally could fucking put you in a hospital. Like, so where do you want me to go?
We got a decision to make right now.
Because you're telling me to do things that I could literally.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe it's timing. You know, maybe it's got to be like at the right time. She smacks me or something, but I just never.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, like pinching nipples and stuff like nah. That hurts.
So, Ro, do you like to get your nipples twisted?
Like you like
No,
little
Purple
you,
nipple?
you little purple nurple to get the
Get a
No.
purple nipple?
no.
get you in the
We
mood.
go,
Get the juices
we
flowing?
we go what Ro does not like, and Ro does like another episode.
Yeah. You know what's worse than the purple nurple? You know that, bro, you work out at a gym. You know that thing they do with the ropes?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so grabbing the nipples and just doing
Oh
that
yeah.
same.
Not a
How
rope.
long-
Oh,
How long are the nipples you're doing that?
How long? How long,
Long are the
JoJo?
nipples?
You gotta
How
train
long,
them.
JoJo?
You gotta train your nipples.
Let me in the
gotta pull
nipples, JoJo. Let
Yeah.
me in the nipples, JoJo.
No, it's like you gotta train them. You don't start out at a 10.
Like
You gotta
feels
work
good
your way
right
up.
now, JoJo. You're in trouble. Oh shit.
You use rubber bands to stretch them out.
Oh, wait. Ball bearings.
That's what she said.
Ow. Ow.
Just tie 'em to
Are we
the
ready?
nipples.
Next level. Let's go. Let's go.
Actually, I got those Bowflex dumbbells, the adjustable ones. So yeah, I could start with like lighter
you used
ones
them?
and gradually work my way up.
Oh shit.
I just slam them in the car door.
Go.
Walk away with my nipple in the car door.
Like, damn it.
Mariah.
Got me again.
Damn, there go my nipple. And my car keys. Damn it.
Because he's got his car keys at the end of his nipples because he doesn't need like the keychain. Anyway.
Yeah, we went off topic. We were talking about
a little bit.
comedy movies
A
and
little bit.
Land of the Lost and Weekend at Bernie's, and we're talking about slamming your nipples in car doors.
Nipple stretching. You know. Whoa. Was there something else? Is there something else we wanted to tackle, or is that it?
I mean, we're already at 101 minutes, so I don't want to bring. We could save the next thing for another episode. Kind of fixating on this this nipple bashing topic. What are other things that get your juices going, ladies, men? You know what?
Why do women have rights?
We're gonna have to edit that one out.
Yeah, that one we might have to.
Don't.
I'm gonna just dub it with nipples. Like, why do women have
Why
nipples?
Why do black people have rights?
Nipples.
What's the point?
Why do men have nipples?
I was just about to say, why do men have nipples? What is? We were attached to something.
Yeah, but by our umbilical cord.
Our nipples were attached to something.
Either that, or at some point, you think maybe we produce milk?
Or it just look. It's funny you say that. My son said something. I sent him to bed for this. He said something. He comes up to me, and I don't know if it's his originally. So if he did steal it, I apologize. I hope you get credit. But he comes up, and he's like, "Hear me out." 12 years old. He's like, "Hear me out." He's like, "Don't judge me." He's like, "What if soy milk is just regular milk trying to introduce itself in Spanish?" And I was just like, "Go to bed. Get out of here. Go to bed."
Yes.
You're high, man. I love you, man.
Unfortunately,
I love you, man.
Unfortunately,
Smoke
he
again, brother.
did
I love
hear
you,
that
man.
from somewhere, and I only know this because I don't remember where I heard it, but I said it to my wife, and she also sent me to bed. So
Yeah,
I think
that's
just
great.
there's no
That is why he is your godson, and you'll soy milk.
Not to stay on the kind of young comedian topic. When I was a kid, my first jokes that I got were from Fozzie on Muppet Babies.
Oh wow!
Muppet Babies.
Man,
Muppet Babies.
Muppet Babies, not the Muppets.
Blew the
Fozzie
Muppets out of the water.
Fozzie made you not want to be a comedian.
Waka, waka.
He was so bad. Wow.
He was so bad. That was great.
He was the best.
But yes, Muppet Babies blew the actual Muppets out of the water. And they kept making Muppet movies and all that, and Muppet Babies was far superior to.
Yep. Even the Muppets Live wasn't anything compared to Muppet Babies Live, because when they did that, I went to see that, which was fucking off the charts. They literally had, what was their, I forget what their aunt's name
like
was.
22 when you saw that?
Yeah, I was tripping on E, and it was like
good
time,
bro. You were killing it.
But he was the oldest one there.
Remember they had their nanny that you never saw, you just saw her leg?
Yeah, just the striped socks.
Right.
They had a big giant one at the live.
On the live thing, yeah, these big ass legs walk on street. I was like, my mind was blown. I think that might have been my first experience with theater.
There's sign up 2 seconds.
Early. What's up?
We need to do a Hamilton episode.
Okay.
People. I brought up to a couple people. Hamilton episode, us talking about who we replaced it with rappers. So everybody can see it. If you need to get my account, let me know. I'm done. All right, bye.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it to really dissect that too.
Let me know. Let me know. Let me know.
Why we're gonna watch it together? We can watch it together, guys.
I'll hold your hand. Yeah.
Hey, can we have a watch party and watch it?
Watch party? Let's do it.
But so it's just gonna be who we would pick. Which rappers we would pick to replace or to play the different characters. Okay.
Dude, we could do the whole show with just Wu-Tang. That would be fucking great.
That would be, but we all have different ideas. Like you think Method Man will be a good Hamilton. I'm like, nah, he'd be a good George Washington. You know, like
exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
Ghostface is Hamilton all day.
Yeah.
But like fucking explicit Ghostface.
You got
us taking tickets at the door.
You guys. He's like, I will prove you wrong, fucker.
Yeah, we got. Please stop shitting on you guys, because I'm gonna see him and he's gonna have seen this and he's gonna be like, really.
I mean, but why does why does he? Why? In your opinion, why does you God get treated like the redheaded stepchild of Wu-Tang?
Because he does. Here's another story. When I used to hang out like hard in Stapleton, he was in the store one time. It was me and Killer Sin, and Killer Sin is Power's brother. Yeah, and we went there, and you God was complaining to him like, "Fuck these dudes, fuck them." And he was just shitting on Wu-Tang, and so he had like I think it's pretty known that he had like a little falling out with them, but that was when everyone was going their separate ways.
Yeah. They all kind of had a falling out.
So I think that animosity.
Is that what you're still doing that?
No, I just think that animosity, kind of showed through, so that's why people think. But it's will say
that
this:
they don't admit to.
But I will say this: You God has one of the most iconic verses of all the Wu-Tang songs out there, and it's the raw. I'm gonna give it to you with no trivia. Yeah. So you hear that set off, right? Everyone knows that it starts off, and so regardless of anything else you guys ever done or he's gonna do, he has that verse immortalized in culture and history.
Oh, yeah.
So
I mean, you can't take anything away from the guy, and anybody that's a big Wu-Tang fan that quotes all the verses and all that, you still fucking rap you God's verses the same way you do Method Man's or Raekwon's.
Anytime anybody says raw. So you could be I'll be in a business meeting and they'll bring up here. So we're gonna do this project raw. I'm gonna give it to you with no trivia.
Yeah. You know what
They'll be like, what?
You know what you ruined for me, Ev? All black. Anytime somebody says all black, I'm like the Omen. This is I can't even finish it.
Yes, I do that.
It's Lil Kim's line from Just an All Black, like the Omen. Have a friend saying this is for my Omen. Every time somebody would say anything about black, I would bust out into that verse.
Like the Omen.
Let me ask you something. Do you guys do this where you jokingly say a word wrong on purpose, but you do it for so long that it becomes the way you say the word now?
Yeah.
Because I never used to say caramel, I would say caramel, but just being a jerk, I would say caramel all the time, and that's how I say it. And I fucking hate it. That's just
Yes.
one
Trying
example.
to think of the word. There's one offhand. I'm thinking it's gonna come to me, but yeah, I do it all the time.
And I say anal. I know. That's the anal. That was the one that got me.
Anal.
Anal's not a real.
I know you're divorced. Now I'm like anal.
Annual.
Oh, it's good.
Your annual.
Annual. Yeah. I'm saying tough crowd, but it's tough.
Or penis. This is my penis.
Can I borrow a penis? Penis. I need a penis.
I love a good penis in the morning. I love a good penis.
Or you know what's
I like
fun?
to write my thoughts. I need a penis.
Or just replace anything that you would use peanut with penis. But you got to say it like penis butter.
I replace the word "you" in any song with Jews. So please don't.
What would that be without
All right,
Jews?
there you go.
Yeah, just do it because you're all gonna do it now. But every song, you know.
I won't do that because I'm not a
I
racist.
love Jews.
Fucker.
He said he loves Jews. It's not racist. He said he
That's not
loves
racist.
Jews. I said, where would I be without Jews?
Look up
Exactly.
me up. There's
Just do it.
times I
Replace
feel
the-
the hands around me, baby.
Don't do it out loud, but
Yeah.
yes, I
On your own time. That's your
implore you.
homework. That's your homework, bro.
That's your homework. Instead you hit the word "you," change it with "Jew."
Yeah, Jews.
You racist bastards. Hey, one other thing, because I was listening to this on my drive today.
You know that we're actually on a live thing. That we're done. We're done either way.
We're good.
I don't.
This is a podcast, bro.
Yeah.
This is good.
Do what we want.
Exactly.
Can't nobody tell us shit. Who's
I
gonna
don't
cancel
agree.
us?
Nobody told
Nobody
you to
listens
keep
to us.
peddling. Nobody
I don't
told
agree
you to
with the
keep peddling.
podcast at all.
I mean, I'm clocking in right now at 2 hours and 9 minutes, but that's
Okay.
the whole time we've
Yeah,
been on. So that might even been
111.
Okay.
111 for my recording.
For your
One
recording.
guy's
111
racist.
minutes.
111.
I don't agree with the other guy. But anyway, we're good. I love this spot.
You are getting a workout, so you just keep
I am.
pedaling, all right?
I hate you. I want to pull up a camera
This is
film.
great. This is great.
I'm dying.
No, so what
right
I was gonna
now.
say
Just
is,
gonna. I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, can we just agree that "Careless Whisper" by George Michael is one of the greatest songs ever written?
Wow.
Hear me out. Hear me out now.
Can you play that, Joe?
One of my favorite songs of all time, "Careless
It's a
Whisper."
great song.
Great song.
But
Wait, hang on, bro.
There's no buts.
I cannot hear that intro and not laugh. I don't know what it is. As soon as I hear it just tickles me. I love the song, great song.
give me the intro.
But it
Joe,
just
Joe,
always
give me-
makes me laugh.
Jojo, give me the intro.
We just did it. It's pretty good.
That's fucking beautiful, Joe.
That's
Are
great.
you kidding me?
Tear comes
I don't remember the
out.
words.
Oh, so long. Feel
There you
like
go.
a hero.
So I step on your tail.
Somebody stepped.
Yeah, but that's one of the greatest songs ever. He was like 17 or 18 years old when he wrote that song. So
Wow.
that's another thing.
I'm never gonna dance again. Had
That says a
too
lot,
many
man.
on Mamma
Guilty Feet have
Mia.
gotten over it. There's this that song is
Guilty
just
Feet
so,
have got no
can,
rhythm.
Can we do an episode about some of the best double entendres in songs? Because there's some. Well, first, how about we do an episode where we look up the definition of entendre, and then we do an episode.
I was like,
Because there have been some amazing ones. Just one that comes to mind is
Guilty
Jay-Z's
Feet
whole.
have got no
why don't we
rhythm.
look up? Why don't we just do like? Do we appreciate those people as the artists they are?
I do.
What?
I think that's the problem.
No, I'm saying as the icon they are. Are they really icons or are they not icons? Let's really talk about it. We'll dissect that shit.
Oh, so like
We'll do
people
four icons. Are
right?
they icons or not icons?
Like, do we hold certain people up on a pedestal when they don't really need to be up there? Like
Exactly.
they're
That's all
overrated, basically.
Exactly.
I'm with that.
All people. I think
I'm with that. Beyonce. I'm gonna throw that out there, and then we'll talk
she's
about
an
that.
icon. No.
For some people,
all people, because we're all human beings, and we're all. I just think that. I think we hold celebrity to a higher standard when they're not. They
off.
shit just
Cut
like
his
us. They
mic
sit
off.
down
Cut
on the
his-
toilet.
Come
Right.
on, Joe. Cut his mic off.
I mean, pick somebody. Michael Jordan takes a shit just like
Yeah.
you and me.
that's why I love the whole kind
You
of
really trying to do Jordan numbers,
independent
bitch?
thing right now.
All right.
Everybody's doing podcasts.
All
Like,
right.
fuck yeah, why not? Why can't we all be famous?
Yeah.
You know what? I got an opinion.
Okay. Let's do it, though. Let's do it next level, Joe.
The way I dance with Jews, never gonna dance again.
Wow, you're not Jewish.
Just replace you with Jews
All right.
in your head.
Oh,
Don't do it
but you gotta
outside.
do
You will
the
get
way
arrested.
I dance with
Okay.
Jew. You know the breakdown.
Yeah.
Goes
All
back
right.
into come
And
on.
okay.
It has a saxophone. Saxophone lead.
I know. The saxophone is I think one of the worst instruments ever. So if you can make it, and they always make it about a sexy thing, and that song is one of the ones that does it justice. There's a very few other ones that do it.
Bill
Another one I
Clinton's,
think of
solo
is
on Arsenio Hall show. That was another
and
one I
the
was
Saturday Night Live. But I was thinking of
So your worst instrument is what?
no, we're talking about the saxophone. The saxophone is the worst instrument, and it's very hard to make it cool. And but another thing that comes to mind that I think of
sax
is
guys are gonna kill you right now. They're gonna assassinate.
yeah, that's all right. If you play the sax,
If you can find
my
a sax
nephew,
fan.
my nephew plays the sax. I have a nephew who he majored in.
They will kill you.
Saxophone.
They will kill you. Robbie will fucking knock you right now. Robbie.
All right, but so
Robbie's gonna beat our asses with a saxophone and then play us
with
out.
a saxophone.
Lisa's
But
dissing.
here's the
Robbie's
thing.
dissing your ass.
Hey, wait, real quick, Ed, before you go, one of my favorite moments from After Hours with Ro is when Robbie fucking just starts playing out.
Killing at
That
the
was
end
fucking
with
great.
Everything.
That's classic.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but
Why
go
aren't you
continue.
reaching out to Robbie for beats? He's the fucking music genius.
Oh no, we are if we get this other thing going, Robbie. Yes, we will be calling you, Robbie.
Yes,
we need.
Robbie is
we'll let you know so you can ignore us.
His brain for what he wants to go is still crazy.
Yes. But but the saxophone is such a hard instrument to get it sexy like that.
And Robbie can play it.
But what I was saying is, so many people, you hear
and
saxophone.
The guitar. Robbie can play the
just
guitar as well.
fucks up a song. Saxophone can really fuck up a song.
Yeah,
what are you talking about? Saxophone doesn't fuck up a song at all. What are you talking about?
It's such a strong and powerful
so
instrument.
overpowering.
Yes, right. If
what?
you can,
how does a saxophone
it's the pit bull of instruments.
Oh my God.
You know, it could enhance it, or it could really fuck it up.
Or it
you don't bring a sax
you
in,
put too much sax.
You don't bring a sax in all.
The saxophone isn't a cowbell. You can have so much cowbells. It's not even funny, but you can have too much sax. Yeah.
So what I was saying is catch something if you have too much sax.
Yeah.
But what I was thinking was the Careless Whisper is one of those. It does the saxophone justice, even though you laugh at it when you hear it, you're like the other thing that comes to mind when I think about great saxophone performances and all that is from the movie The Lost Boys. The big diesel guy who plays the sax with one hand. And
with the blonde,
kills it.
fucking,
he's got like a fucking mullet ponytail.
Oh my God.
That guy, like he fucking pounds you in the head with a saxophone, but then he just plays it.
And and then he's got those tight like 80s wrestler pants on. And he's like fucking.
I think he's got the Mickey Rourke vest with nothing under it.
Yeah, dude. Great. Maggots, Michael. Those are maggots.
Maggots, Michael.
Dude,
I could a billion Chinese.
Hey, I got to go to living out here in California. I got to go to that boardwalk where
it's fictional Las Cruces, but it's the Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz.
yeah. And could not. We were probably there for I don't know about 2 hours, and I'm pretty sure I ruined that movie for my wife. No, I just could not stop quoting everything. It was just smack sprinkle. Like it's Kiefer Sutherland, man. That guy does not get enough credit. I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna just put that out.
Great movie. Great movie. Lost my great movie.
His father doesn't get enough credit too.
Yeah,
There's some
Tropicana.
commercial going out now. Yeah, thank you. I was just about to say this is a commercial, and it's Donald Sutherland, and every time he comes on, I'm like, that's Donald Sutherland. And I couldn't.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Tropicana.
Is it Tropicana or the other one?
I don't know. He's
it's
talking
the
about
orange juice.
Fucking fruit orange.
Yeah, it's one, but I think it's Tropicana. Yeah. Because there's the sun, whatever, but I say the same thing. Who was the other one I used to always say? Ed Harris used to do Home Depot. I don't know if he still does it.
No, the Home Depot is the this fucking guy from Sweet Home Alabama with Reese Witherspoon. Do you remember that movie? Which
I can't picture.
I can't remember the guy's name.
All right, guys, I love you.
His collar is popped. The collar is popped.
Not tonight. I love you.
And I can't think. The guy he's a character actor, but he does Josh Lucas. And it's funny because I saw him on the street one day on Park Avenue, and I was like,
my hip. Oh my God.
I was like, that's the Home Depot guy.
That's hilarious. Oh, yeah, really. You know what? I remembered a celebrity encounter I had. I totally forgot I met Lotion in the Basket.
Oh, yeah, I love Ted Levine.
Who was also on Monk, by the way.
Yeah, Ted Levine.
Can
we just mute him
for a second? Yeah.
He's not even there. He left.
I was working for FedEx, and anybody that
rubs the lotion on the skin, or else it gets the hose again.
So I was about to get my truck towed. And if you work for any kind of delivery company, you know, like the process, like you got to give them your license in order for them to put it down, and you got to wait for their manager to come, and you know, you got to wait, but it's not that big of a deal. It's just you lose time. So that was kind of what was happening. I was in the process of waiting for their manager to come so they could release my truck, and I'm sitting on the floor in front of a restaurant just waiting. Nice day, and he comes by. What is his name again?
Ted Levine.
Ted Levine walks by, and he's walking his dog.
He really talks like that.
Yeah. And he stops.
You hurt my dog.
He looks at me and he looks at the truck, and he's like, "Are they really like towing your truck?" And I'm like,
"Are they really gonna tow your truck? Yeah. Are you about a size 14?"
So I'm like, "Yeah." And before I could even like explain that it's no big deal, he starts going in on the fucking meter person, or the tow truck person. Like, he's just trying to do his job, and I live here, and what if he has one of my packages? Like, he was going in. I was just like, no, it's
hurt really... my dog. I hurt my dog.
It didn't look like his dog though. That's the.
He got a little white dog.
It was a little like Maltese looking thing. But yeah, I was like, oh man, he stuck up for me. That's a nice guy.
Nice. I used to in high school. It's one of how I got popular. That was my claim to fame in high school. So we used to blurt out random things, and one of them. So I used to do "Silence of the Lamb" quote, and I would do that, But I used to do it, so well. Where it sounded like
it was like, yeah. Mine was Delirious. Me and Tony Hobbs, shout out to him. He's definitely not listening to this. We would recite Delirious as if that was our fucking stand up. And another one was I used to do Mickey Mouse really well when I was in junior high school. I can't do it anymore.
I've heard you do it a couple of times.
Yeah, I gotta be ready for it because it's from the diaphragm. But yeah. I used to do it really well in junior high school, and I would wait for like the right time. If we're like in line or something and the teacher's not paying attention, I see if I can.
But I used to do the put the lotion in the basket.
Oh, Mickey. I used to do it way better than that, but
Rubs the lotion on the skin, or else it gets the hose again. It places the lotion in the basket. So that's how I used to do it. I used to work it up to it places the lotion in the basket. And then like everybody would go quiet. They're like, shh. And I just randomly, the teacher would be like writing on the board, put the fucking lotion in the basket. And everybody would just start cracking up, and the teacher would turn around, who said that? Who said that?
see, all the while preparing us for show business.
Yeah. Pretty sure this podcast is not going to make it to the light of day. No, it will.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
All right. Well,
He looked like he was on the floor.
we've got Bane with us.
That's a normal one.
You're listening to the Woken Up